Hey everyone, Caitlin here. I hope you're having a great day. Today, it's time to start seeds. I'm so excited. We get to put seeds in the ground or in the garden beds very soon, so we got to get them started inside. That way they're ready to go out. First, we need to make the seed starting mix or the potting mix. I typically prefer potting mix just so there's a little more nutrients once the seeds use up all of their nutrients from the seed pod that they came out of. And we'll grab the supplies in just a sec. So for seed starting mix, you can use peat or coco coir mixed with perlite or vermiculite. I prefer peat and perlite. Both are cheaper and both work great. And then for your potting mix, it's peat or coco coir, perlite or vermiculite, and then your compost. And that's a little bit of nutrients from the compost for your seedlings. So I'm going to get the supplies now. I'm going to put my apron on so I have something to wipe my hands on, and we'll get to mixing. All right, we got the peat and the tote and the perlite all right here and handy. We're going to start scooping them in and mixing them up, and then I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Hopefully won't make a huge mess, but probably will. When peat is dry, it goes in the air and you can breathe it in. And it's kind of a good idea to avoid that. You don't want to breathe this stuff in. This is a little moist, so luckily it's not going everywhere in the air. But if it is a problem, you can wear a mask or hold your breath. When you buy peat in a big cube like this, it's compressed and it's really tight, so you have to loosen it up just to be able to get it out. Okay, I think that's going to be enough for now. I'll make more later. I won't make you watch me do all that. I'm going to cut open the perlite. I bought this big bag of perlite last year, and it's been stored outside. And seems pretty good. Doesn't seem like it has any green tint to it like perlite can get when it's wet for a long time from algae or mold or fungus or whatever it is. So yeah, this is looking good. I'm just gonna get a bunch of scoops and put it in the tote. So you can buy your seed starting mix already made up, but it's actually pretty pricey. So I think this was 20-something dollars. I can't remember what I bought for this, but when you do the math, you can make so much more for so much less. So it's really worth it to do that. Where's my spoon? Oh. I guess I breathed it in and I shouldn't have. I'm going to get in there with my hands. So you just got to break up the chunks of peat that are still in there, get it mixed up really, really well. That way you can see if the ratio of perlite to peat is what you're looking for. So whenever I'm done mixing, I will show you what it looks like, and then we'll go from there. I think that is enough. Okay, let's bring you in so you can take a look. Soft and fluffy. So the peat will absorb the moisture and keep it moist for the seedlings, but the perlite helps it drain at the same time. So that's the kind of combination you want when you start your seeds. And I think the ratio is a good ratio of peat to perlite here. On the stove, I have water boiling just so we can sterilize the mixture. And we want to do that before we add the compost. Because if we sterilize the compost, then it's not going to give us the nutrients we need. So let me go grab that real quick. I'm going to dump the boiling water into the totes and stir it up and see if we need more. We're probably going to need more. All right, let's give it a stir. Where did I put my spoon? Oh, yeah. It's just steaming. Yeah, I'm going to get some more water boiling on the stove. And we'll add it when it's done boiling. All right, here's another one. We're going to add one more for now and see how it is. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty sopping wet, which is good. We'll let it sit for a few to cool down, and while it does that, it'll also absorb all of the water, and then it won't be so soppy. Whenever you are checking the moisture in your seed starting mixture, you want to grab a handful and squeeze. And if nothing drips out but the handful keeps its form, then you know that is the moisture, it has the moisture level that you need it to have. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet because I think it's probably hot. Yep, it's hot. So we'll wait. I can't tell if it's moist all the way down to the bottom of the tote. This kitchen spoon's not really reaching down there very well. And it's too hot to fill with my hands, so we'll find out. I got another pot on the stove ready if we need it. So we'll let that cool down and then we will test it. Okay, it's cooled down enough for us to check, kind of. The top inch or so has cooled down enough for us to check. So I'll do that. See how it's in a ball? Keeps its form. But when you squeeze hard, it's not dripping. And it holds its form pretty well. So I'm going to let this cool down even more. Clearly it's going to take a while. I'm going to stir it around a little bit, get some of the steam out from underneath. So we sterilized the peat and perlite just in case there was any fungus or weed seed or bug eggs, anything like that. The perlite I stored outside from last year, so probably a good idea. And the peat, you never know for sure. It does seem counterintuitive to add the compost afterwards since the compost isn't sterile, but at least we're sterilizing most of it. And we'll add the compost in once this is cooled down. Since this is so hot, I don't want to add the compost in because then it might sterilize the compost or kill some of the nutrients inside of it. So we're going to wait on that part. We'll be back in a sec. Okay, it's cooled down and it's ready for us to add the compost. So let me get that cut open and we'll do that. Oops, it's heavy. I'm only going to add half a bag to this, and I'll save the other half for when I make more to fill up this tote. Okay. And now we just mix it all up. This isn't very good quality. It's really clumpy. Well, I'm just going to keep mixing it up and hope for the best. Okay, we got it all mixed up. So let's go over what we used. We used peat, which I bought from Ace Hardware. Let me move the camera so you can see it. Got sun-grow black gold Canadian sphagnum peat moss, and then the perlite here, Midwest perlite. Got that from our local nursery. And then while I was at Ace getting the thing of peat, I grabbed their compost manure. And it was very clumpy, but I was able to break up the pieces and get fluffy potting mix. There's a couple clumps still in here that I'll have to break up as I use it. That's fine. It'll still work for us. And now that we have the seed mix mixed up, moist, cooled down and ready, we can start filling up our trays and starting our seeds. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video where we start our seeds. Have a good day. Bye.